Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faiz Fathi bin Muhammad Azmi from Class 6 PM3. Today I will talk about aviation industry retrenchment during pandemic. So for today I divided my topic into 4 parts. The first one is background, the little bit history about the COVID-19 pandemic. Second one is the current issues. Third one is the effect about the retrenchment. And the fourth one the economic part regarding the topic today. So moving on to the background, a little bit about the COVID-19 history. The COVID-19 pandemic, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, is an ongoing global pandemic of coronavirus disease since 2019. The novel virus was first identified from an outbreak in Wuhan, in China, in December 2019. The World Health Organization (WHO) declared a public health emergency of international concern on 30 January 2020 and a pandemic on 11 March 2020. So, as of 6 June 2022, the pandemic had caused more than 532 million cases and 6.2 million confirmed deaths, making it one of the deadliest in the history. Okay, so this is the graph I took from the internet, which is showing total cases of COVID-19 since the January 22nd, 2020 and up until June 2022. So as I said before, 532 million cases has been reported around the globe. Moving on to the next part is the current issue. So, as we all know, many government had imposed travel bans. This lockdown causing disasters to the aviation industry. And this lockdown also has caused an effect towards many sectors involving business, travel, retail, and many more. Some experts even says that it could take up to 5 years for recovery for the most affected industry. So this fact and figure I took from the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization article published in 2021. So some facts about the aviation industry is 1.8 billion passengers flew in 2020, which a decrease of 60.2% compared to the 4.5 billion who flew in 2019. So there is a big number of drop in the demand. And then moving on to the international passenger demand decreased by 75.6% compared to the year prior. So that is also a quite big number. And for the domestic, 48.8%. Furthermore, the total industry passenger revenue fell by 69% to $189 billion in 2020. So there is a big amount of money, and net losses were $126.4 billion in total. This decline in passenger transported in 2020 was the largest recorded since global RPK being tracked around 1950. So this graph I took from the article from ICAO showing world passenger traffic evolution from 1945 to 2022. So as we can see, there are many crises occurred since then, such as oil crisis, Iran-Iraq war, Gulf crisis, Asian crisis, 9/11 terrorist attack, SARS, financial crisis, and the latest one is the COVID-19 pandemic, which we can see it gave a major drop, which is 60%, and that is the biggest one in the industry. Moving on to the next part, which is effect of retrenchment. It can be divided to two, which is long term and the short term. Before that, retrenchment is the reduction of costs or spending in response to economic difficulty. In this discussion, we talk about terminating an employee due to the surplus labor or selling an asset because of high maintenance costs. For short run, this retrenchment is effective for an airline because of it can reduce overhead costs and minimize cash burn. For example, short term, the management of Asia Berhad and Asia X Berhad has confirmed the retrenchment of 10% of the 24,000 employees. But the backside is they also need to bear the loss of skilled and talented workforce in the industry. Second example is Marindo Air laid off 2,647 employees in 2022, reported by Reuters. So the long term involving Air France, which bring forward their A380 retirement and restructure their domestic network with less flight, which mean less supply from the airline. Other than that, Lufthansa, which deep cuts into future fleet, grounding A380 probably permanently. So the last part, economic related with the retrenchment topic. Forecasting has been done by ICAO to determine the future of commercial aviation, specifically for airline industry. For this to be done, we need to understand some of the economic terms being used. So the first one is passenger demand, which labeled as revenue per kilometer or RPK, and the formula is stated as in the slide. Second one is the available seat kilometer, or known as the supply from airline seat capacity, and the formula is seat time flown distance. To calculate the yield value, which is give the total industry passenger revenue, the formula is pax revenue divided by RPK or RPM. So this is an example of available 6 kilometer ASK recorded by ICAO in their article from 2021 and up until 2022. They're also forecasting a few months future until November 2022 to determine the future for airline industry. And this one is revenue per kilometer, and the last one is yield, which is the total revenue for airline industry. I think that's all from me. Thank you.